Om Hari Om Sri Guru Pyo Namah Hari Om Sri Guru Samhita, the legend of the Supreme Guru, original in Marathi as Sri Guru Charitra by Sri Gangadhara Saraswati, composition in Sanskrit by His Holiness Sri Vasudevananda Saraswati, also known as Tembe Maharaj. This translation into English is provided by Dr. Narasimhaswamy Banavara. Karma Kanda, the duty ritual section. Chapter 25, Self-adulations by the egotistical Brahmins. Salutations to Lord Ganapati. Salutations to Lord Dattatreya. 1. Namadharaka said, O Guru Siddha, praises be to you. You are the gem among the Gurus. I have this feeling firmly established in my mind that you are the most knowledgeable person that I have met. 2. O Supreme Lord, O kindness personified, you have thus incarnated on this earth. You appear as an ordinary human being to the common folk, and you help the learned folk obtain darshan of the divine form of the Supreme Guru. 3. I have heard that the Supreme Guru granted his Vishwarupa, that is true and divine universal form, to Trivikrama Bharati. Please describe in detail as to what happened next. 4. Guru Siddha said, My child, I cannot describe all the legends of the Supreme Guru in detail. However, much every time we have with us, it is still not enough to describe this holy and pure legend. I shall only tell you the story in brief. 5. If I start to describe all the legends of the Supreme Guru, this book will become extremely lengthy. Therefore, I shall tell you only a small portion that is the essence of all the legends. 6. The next portion of the story is very amazing. O Namadharaka, listen to it. There is a city by the name of Vaidurya Nagara, that is modern Bidar, in the state of Karnataka. It was then ruled by a Muslim Nawab. 7. This Nawab hated all Brahmins. He was also very cruel and intolerant. He was always interested in harassing people and other creatures. Sometimes, for his amusement, he would force the Brahmins to come to his court and recite the Vedas. 8-9. Once the Nawab proclaimed, O Brahmins, if the scholars among you Brahmins come to my court and explain all the Vedas along with their meanings, I shall give you loads of money. Such Brahmins will become very dear to me. I shall particularly respect those Brahmins who can explain to me the complete meaning of the Vedas. 10. The intelligent Brahmins understood the hidden agenda behind this proclamation and cleverly escaped the Nawab's clutches by saying, We are not scholars. We do not completely understand the Vedas and their meanings. There were some Brahmins, however, who were half-baked and considered money to be all-important. Note, public recitation of the divine Vedas in front of people who do not respect or believe in the Vedas go against the very Vedic injunctions. 11. These Brahmins went to the Muslim Nawab and began to recite the Vedas and the Shastras in front of him. Curious to understand the meaning of the Yajna Kanda, that is a section on sacrifice, the cruel Nawab had the Brahmins explain the meaning of the different rituals of the sacrifices to him. 12. He then made fun of the Brahmins, saying, You people use animals for sacrifices. Then, why do you criticize Muslims for killing animals? You are all a bunch of hypocrites and frauds. 13. Though he taunted and made fun of the Brahmins, the Muslim Nawab gave them loads of money and sent them back. He also honored the Brahmins who explained the Vedas and their meaning to him with eligibility, certificates and titles. 14. Thus, it became well known all over the area that Nawab would give plenty of money to the Brahmins who recited the Vedas. Driven by the greed, many Brahmins from far and near came to the Nawab and recited the Vedas along with their meanings to him. 15. Thus, the greed for money attracted several Brahmins and the Vedic scholars to the Nawab's court. They began to voluntarily go to the Nawab, praise themselves as Vedic scholars and recite the Vedas and their meaning with the sole desire of getting money from him. 16. In this way, even the scholars of the Vedas became dear to the Kali Purusha, that is the spirit of the age of Kali, and turned into fools, evildoers, intoxicated and egotistical people. The Nawab's place turned into the place of Lord Yama, the god of death, filled with such greedy and egotistical people. 17. Thus some time passed. Once two Brahmins who were well versed in the Vedas and Shastras came to meet the Nawab. They were poverty-stricken people though. 18. These two Brahmins met the Nawab and said to him, O Lord, we are scholars in all the three Vedas, that is Rig Veda, Yajur Veda and Samaveda. We are experts in the Shastras as well. Thus, they highly praised themselves in front of the Nawab. 19. The two Brahmins said, O king, we have not found anyone on this earth who is more learnt than we are. We have come here after having visited 4 kingdoms. 20. If there is anyone in your kingdom who understands the Vedas and their meanings and is willing to sit for a debate with us, then bring him to us. O Lord, we are ready to conduct a debate in front of your highness itself. 21. Hearing the Brahmin's words, the egotistical Nawab called upon all Vedic scholars in his kingdom. 22. The Nawab said to the Brahmins, if any person among you can debate over the Vedas and their meanings with these two Brahmins and win, I shall honor that person with abundant money and a robe of honor and pay tribute to him. 23. Hearing the Nawab's words, the Brahmins who had gathered there said to him, O king, none of us have the competency to debate those two Brahmins. When this is the case, how can we ever win over these two people? 24. In fact, these two Brahmins are the greatest scholars among all of us. Honor them, O king. You can pay your tribute to these two Brahmins. 25. Thus all the Brahmins said in unison. The true Vedic scholars did not come to this meeting at all. Then the Nawab paid special tribute to those two Brahmins. He donated expensive clothes, jewels and other items to the two people. Note, the Vedas are very sacred and divine scriptures. They are meant for reading, chanting and contemplation, not for acrimonious debates. When one tries to establish one's superiority over another, therefore the learned Brahmin refused, albeit politely, to enter into any debate. Only foolish and egotistical people use the Vedas to debate with one another for personal gains. 26. The Nawab had the two Brahmins seated on an elephant and took them on a grand procession throughout the city, complete with different musical instruments, playing music and a lot of fanfare. Then the Nawab said, I declare these two Brahmins to be the foremost and the leaders of the entire Brahmin community. 27. Just as I am the king of all the Muslims, similarly these two Brahmins are the kings of all Brahmins. Thus the two arrogant Brahmins became appointed as the Vedic chanters for the Muslim king. 28. The two Brahmins considered themselves to be kings. As such, they began to ridicule all the other Brahmins day by day. Thus the two foolish Brahmins became proud and egotistical, armed with the protection of the Nawab. 29. They lost sight of what was true and real. Thus the two blind and foolish Brahmins turned out to be like two intoxicated elephants. One day the two Brahmins, full of arrogance and pride, said to the Nawab. 30. They said, O king, the fame of our capabilities has reached all over the world. We have not seen even one person who is capable of debating with us. The education of all the people here has turned out to be a waste. 31. We now desire to debate with the great and famed scholars. If you grant us permission, we are ready to travel to other kingdoms on this earth. 32. If ever we get a person who is ready to debate with us, we shall defeat him and obtain Jayapatra, that is victory certificates, and his titles from him. If no one is ready to debate with us, we shall obtain a similar Jayapatra, that is acknowledging our supremacy. 33. The Nawab said, All right, go immediately to all the kingdoms and establish victory over all the scholars there. 34. Hearing the Nawab's orders, the two Brahmins filled with the Tamas Guna set off from Vaidurya Nagara. They travelled from village to village in search of Brahmin scholars to conduct their debate. 35. When the two Brahmins found such a scholar and defeated him in debate, they made him issue a Jayapatra, that is victory certificate, to them, acknowledging their supremacy. They also forced people to issue them such Jayapatras when there was no one in the village competent enough to enter into a debate with them. Then they proceeded on to the next village. 36. Wandering thus from village to village, the two Brahmins came to the southern kingdoms. There they heard about Trivikrama Bharati, who was a scholar in the Vedas and Shastras. 37. This Trivikrama Bharati was a great ascetic who lived in the village of Kumsi. He was a great scholar, well versed in all the three Vedas and several Shastras. 38. Fame of this ascetic Trivikrama Bharati has spread far and wide. Hearing about him from the local folk, the two arrogant and egotistical Brahmins came to see him. 39. The two Brahmins approached the ascetic Trivikrama Bharati and said to him, O sir, if you are indeed well versed in all the three Vedas, then enter into a debate with us. If you are unable to do so, issue a Jayapatra to us acknowledging your defeat and our supremacy over you. 40. Hearing their words, the ascetic Trivikrama Bharati said to them, O Brahmins, I am not completely well versed in all the three Vedas and their meanings. I have not digested even one Veda completely. 41. If I were an expert in all the Vedas and Shastras, why would I come and live in this forest? Expert in the Vedas and Shastras like you are eligible for all forms of prosperity, fame, and royal treatment. 42. I am not such a scholar. I am just a forest dweller. I am a sannyasi to top that. I am an ascetic and a mendicant who begs for his food. How can there be any comparison between me and you folks? 43. I have no pride whatsoever. What is victory? What is defeat? They are all the same to me. You, on the other hand, are great scholars. How can I ever enter into a debate with you? 44. Hearing the ascetic words, the two Brahmins spoke words filled with arrogance. They said, Who can ever gain victory over us? There is no one on this earth, on this entire earth, who can do that. 45. We have travelled to several kingdoms. There is no one comparable to us at all. We have received countless number of Jayapatras, that is victory certificates. Oh sir, look at all these Jayapatras. 46. You have to now write one Jayapatra like this, acknowledging your defeat and our supremacy. If you have any respect for knowledge, then get ready to enter into a debate with us. 47. Then the ascetic Trivikrama Bharati tried different tactics to put some sense into these two egotistical Brahmins, but they did not listen to the word he spoke. They began to demand that he issue them a Jayapatra immediately. 48. Then the ascetic Trivikrama Bharati thought to himself, These two Brahmins must be suitably punished. I should take these two to Gandharva to meet the Supreme Guru. 49. These two Brahmins are intoxicated with ego, pride and arrogance. They have indeed become blind to everything else in this world but their own supremacy. They have humiliated several true scholars of the Vedas. They have to be punished. The best solution now is to take them to the Supreme Guru. 50. Thinking thus, the ascetic Trivikrama Bharati said to the two Brahmins, O Brahmins, please come with me to Gandharva. You shall obtain a greater and a more detailed Jayapatra there. 51. My Guru resides in Gandharva. I shall give you the Jayapatra in his presence, otherwise I shall fulfill your request for a debate. 52. Saying thus, the ascetic Trivikrama Bharati set off for Gandharva on the foot. The two foolish and arrogant Brahmins sat in a planquette and followed him. 53. The two Brahmins were fools. The ignorant duo had humiliated several Brahmins. They sat in a planquette while the great ascetic was walking on foot. As a result, they became short-lived. 54. Gandharva, also known today as Gangapura, is a very holy and consecrated site. The Supreme Guru Sri Narasimha Saraswati has settled there on the banks of the river Bhima. 55-56. The ascetic Trivikrama Bharati came there and devotedly saluted the Supreme Guru. He said, O Omnipresent One, O Primeval Lord, O Kindness Personified, O Bhaktavatsala, that is friend of the devotees, O Guru of the world, praises be to you, praises be to you. O great soul who emancipates us from the illusory world, whoever does not realize your true and divine form as a supreme spirit is indeed doomed. 57. Thus Trivikrama Bharati praised the Supreme Guru with several hymns and fell at the Supreme Guru's feet with tears rolling down his cheeks. His body was electrified and his voice became very emotional. 58. Then the Supreme Guru lifted the ascetic Trivikrama Bharati, consoled him and embraced him. He said, O ascetic, what is the matter? Tell me everything from the beginning. 59. The Supreme Guru said, O Trivikrama Bharati, what is the reason for you coming here today? Is there any particular work that you have to do now? O great ascetic, tell me everything in detail. 60. Hearing the Supreme Guru's words, the ascetic Trivikrama Bharati said, O respected one, these two Brahmins have been intoxicated with arrogance. They desire to enter into a debate with someone. 61. They understand the underhanded tactics of debate. They are scholars in the Vedas, Shastras, Mimamsas, that is the interpretation of Vedic texts, and other scriptures. These two Brahmins keep on blowing their own trumpets, saying that they are great scholars of all the four Vedas. 62. If anyone is unable to enter into a debate with these two Brahmins, then they make him write a Jayapatra acknowledging his defeat and their supremacy. I tried to advise them in several ways and with kind and beneficial words, but they did not listen. They wanted debate. 63. Therefore, I have brought them here. Lord, you are the most supreme of all gurus. Your words have divine and utmost strength. That is why I have brought them here to you. 64. Hearing the ascetic words, the Supreme Guru smiled. He looked at the two Brahmins and inquired about them. 65. The Supreme Guru said, O Brahmins, what is the matter? Why have you come here? Why do you two gain by debate? What do you two gain by debate? What benefits do you garner by just defeating other Brahmins in such debates? 66. I am an ascetic. What is victory? What is defeat? Both are the same to me. If you defeat these ascetics, what kind of Purushastras are you going to achieve? 67. Hearing the Supreme Guru's words, the two Brahmins said, O Lord, we have been travelling the earth seeking the bhiksha, that is alms of good debate. We have not been able to find even one such good debater. 68. No, not one scholar has had the fortitude to come in front of us and engage in a debate. We have established victory over all scholars. All the scholars who have been defeated in debate have given us these Jayapatras, that is victory certificates. 69. We asked the Trivikrama Bharati, if you also write one such Jayapatra, what are you going to lose? Hearing our question, Trivikrama became very angry. Instead of writing and giving us a Jayapatra, that is why he has brought us to you. 70. Now listen, if you have any respect for knowledge or scholarship, then get ready immediately for a debate on the Vedas, Shastras, grammars and other scriptures. 71. We are not ordinary Brahmins. We are scholars in all the four Vedas. There is no one equal to us anywhere on this earth. We are both asking you this, O ascetic. Are you too well versed in the Vedas? Thus asked the two Brahmins out of the pride and arrogance. 72. Then the Supreme Guru said to the two Brahmins, O Brahmins, this kind of arrogance do not befit you. Several asuras, that is evil spirits, and rakshasas, that is demons, all died as a result of arrogance and pride. 73. What did the king Bali achieve out of arrogance? What happened to Banasura? The highly intoxicated Ravana also perished as a result of arrogance. Note: Banasura was a mighty and arrogant demon. Banasura propitiated Lord Shiva, who offered him a boon. In turn, the arrogant Banasura asked Lord Shiva to guard the gates of a city. As fate would have it, Banasura's daughter Usha fell in love with Aniruddha, the grandson of Lord Krishna, the eighth incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Banasura imprisoned Aniruddha and started a mighty war. Eventually, Lord Krishna defeated Banasura and shattered his pride and arrogance. 74. Who has really understood the sublime meaning and the secrets of the Vedas? Even the four-faced Lord Brahma and other gods cannot fully understand the Vedas. The Vedas are infinite. You are showing off your pride without cause. 75. If you want to benefit from the knowledge of the Vedas, first discard this arrogance completely. Realize that the Vedas are infinite. When this is the case, how can you call yourself expert in all the four Vedas? 76. Hearing the Supreme Guru's words, the two arrogant Brahmins replied with sheer impudence, We are great scholars. We are well versed in all the four Vedas and 6 Vedangas, that is, auxiliaries. 77. Guru Siddha said, O Namadharaka. Thus, the two arrogant and foolish Brahmins spoke to the Guru with sheer impertinence. I shall tell you the amazing events that occurred later. Listen with great reverence. 78. The Supreme Guru explained all the divisions and sections of the four Vedas to the two Brahmins. I shall describe all of that to you. Gangadhara Saraswati contemplates on Lord Dattatreya and tells the audience, O people in the audience, please listen carefully. Thus ends chapter 25 in the Karma Kanda, in the dialogue between Guru Siddha and Namadharaka, in the text known as the Legend of Narasimhaswamy, authored by Gangadhara Saraswati in the Marathi language as Sri Guru Charitra, and referred to as Sri Guru Samhita, composed in the Sanskrit language by His Holiness Sri Vasudevananda Saraswati. Om Tat Sat. Mantrahina, Kriyahina, Bhaktihina, Kshamapate. Om Sri Krishnarpanamastu.